So we are today at BT Properties. I've been getting a lot of requests. Again, I was waiting for the escrow account to get approved, and now because it is approved, we're here at the sales center. We'll show you guys the master plan community, and then we'll get into the presentation. So as you guys can see, we are standing here. This sales center is very hustling and bustling. You can see the amount of demand. I think as soon as the escrow account got released, people are going ballistic with this community. You guys can see the gorgeous master plan. We have the villas, townhouses, beautiful low-rise section, and then a very nice high-rise section. We have a school, all these things. We have a mini little Eiffel Tower in the middle. So no doubt this is definitely a very solid community that's going to be coming up in MR South. I think their prices are pretty solid. I think their payment plan is pretty solid. So we just got a bit of an idea of the master plan. Let's get into the presentation. Let's see the numbers. Let's see the floor plans. All these things we can cover because now as the escrow account is approved, again, the launch is on May 27. Let's get into the details. So stay tuned for that. So today we're finally covering BT Properties. For those of you who are mainly from Pakistan, you already know it stands for Bahria Town Properties. So BAHRIA Town Properties. Now we were very hesitant to cover this developer because they were not RERA approved. They did not have an escrow account, but they have listened to the people. Obviously, it was still all under process. And we've had a lot of requests from our clientele, especially the ones from in Pakistan, because a lot of them are very happy with what they have delivered in Pakistan. It truly is one of the only modern type communities with all the amenities you can live in Pakistan. So these guys are now bringing this to Dubai. Malik Raz, billionaire guy. So these guys are the ones who are going to be covering this. So as you guys saw, we were at the sales center. We saw the master plan. It is a massive master plan. There is a lot to take in this video. So let's deep dive into the presentation and see what this community is all about. Now on the screen, as you guys can see, this community is going to be called Wada in Dubai South. Of course, it is coming in, the Dubai government has gracefully, done a partnership with them to develop, again, the Dubai South area. And we're going to get into all the details later on, right? So if we speak about over here, as you guys can see, this is the entire map of Dubai. And as you guys know, for those of you who've been following us, Dubai South is where a lot of the growth is happening, right? All these big developers are coming. And as you guys can see, so this community is right behind MR South. It is going to be a massive community. Again, Maktoum International Airport coming on, Palm Jabal Ali Free Zone. We'll get into the presentation on, all the job numbers, the data, as we like to get into, but this is just an idea of where this community is going to be coming. So again, strategically located, it's a good price point to get in. That area is still developing. In the next 5 to 10 years, that area is going to become mature, because a lot of the areas in Dubai you might find are very mature already. So this is one of those areas where investors are going now, the expo area, all these areas where obviously the future development is coming. And us obviously being investors or end users, you want to get that initial stage, that initial pricing, because this is going to be the first phase launch. So this is, as we understand, obviously this is going to be the lowest price that is going to be offered. And then as the more and more clusters come, the price will increase. Now, moving on, we already saw the physical master plan in the sales center. This is obviously a digital render. Amazing community. You guys can see there's so much going on. At the top, we have all these high-rise towers. Then we have, which are called the tower right now. Then we have the cascade buildings, secondly, which have this cool curvature style design. And then right in front of that, we have this massive stretch where the mini Eiffel Tower is. We have this amphitheater, then we have the villas, and we have the townhouses, and we'll break down the community even further. Now these are some of the renders. These guys will have water features. These are behind the villas. Again, very greenish design. We'll get into more of the design philosophy soon. And this is a better breakdown. Now as you guys can see where my cursor is, these are the high-rise towers. These are the cascade buildings, and something very cool, each of the cascade buildings has a park in the middle. There's a cool little fountain in the middle. They all have their own pools. Then we have this massive water feature area, obviously with the mini Eiffel Tower, the amphitheater, and then right opposite that, these are the villas and the semi-detached. And over here we have the townhouses. And again, we'll get into all the pricing, floor plans, all these things. This is a render from a different side, the opposite view. Again, so it really has something for everyone. The tall towers, they're going to have the studios, 1 beds, 2 beds. And then the cascade, the curvature design buildings, they won't have studios. They'll have 1, 2, and 3 beds. And there are a lot of variations. And then obviously in the villas, we have the 6-bed villas, the 4-bed semi-detached, and 3 4-bedroom townhouses. Cool little fun fact, these two buildings, which we'll see in the future as well, they're going to be a 5-star hotel, yet to be decided. And then of course we do have an international school and hospital coming up as well. So definitely checking all the boxes for a good solid community living design that most investors would like nowadays. So over here, moving on, this is just another render of, these are going to be one-off villas. These are not being launched right now, they'll be launched soon, but very cool, very impressive renders. These are the villas. Obviously, they all have the neighborhoods, parks and all these things. So very, family design. These two buildings, this is going to be the 5-star hotel, yet to be decided which one, but they'll be announcing soon once it's decided. But that is going to be there. It's also going to have serviced apartments and all these things inside. Now, this also aligns with Dubai Vision 2040. Very cool WADA, 3D logo design over here as well. And that really means that Dubai Vision 2040, is saying that, okay, developers need to have at least 40% for greenery and all these things. And it's a whole massive thing. We can do a whole other video about Vision 2040, and we will soon. But this community aligns with that as well. This is just a very cool snapshot of the Cascade buildings. You guys can see this is the central fountain, and then the pool, very nice modernist design, kind of gives that Como by Nakhil vibes, the big tower that came in Nakhil. So very cool. Again, these are low-rise towers. Another aerial shot, you guys can see the amphitheater, the massive playground in the middle. This really is, very cool design. And again, 40% has been kept. We'll get into those details. Now, this is the view of the amenities and the pool from the villa area. So again, all the clusters are going to have their own amenities, pretty standard Dubai community style. And you can say, they do take all these boxes. Again, leisure recreation, you can pause the screen, read it in more depth. They have all these things where they have pocket parks, education. There's going to be an international school, hospitality. There's going to be a 5-star hotel. Serviced apartments, and then obviously state-of-the-art theater, and all these things are going to be included as well. Now, speaking about the residences, the first launches, this is going to be called Altura by WADA, in WADA. So this is going to be the high-rise towers. We'll get into more details. This is just another shot of it. You guys can see this is, very cool high-rise downtown type vibe kind of living, where they're going to be offering studios 1 and 2 beds. This is just another snapshot of the podium level. Very cool, Creek Harbor, downtown, Imar podium level type vibes. So, for those of you who want that kind of lifestyle as well. These are just some renders of the amenities, the lobby, the 1 beds that these guys will be offering in that. Renders of the bathroom. Again, it's not going to be furnished, but this is just to give you an idea of what it's going to be. Now we have Cascada. Again, this is going to be the low-rise one. You guys can see in the front where we have the valet style coming in. This is another snapshot of the podium level. Again, gorgeous, very green. It has all these things. So just to get an idea of, okay, what is coming. So we have the tower, we have this Cascada, which is the low rise. And then, so this is going to be the lift and the lobby of the Cascada. Gym, all these things. The kitchen, the bathroom, you guys can see. And then we have Rayhan. These are the townhouses where we're going to have 3 and 4 bedroom townhouses. 3 beds obviously in the middle, 4 beds in the corner. These are some of the renders for that. This is the back side render of the townhouses, and this is the front. So you guys can see, very cool, modernist design, good sizes as well, and excellent payment plan, which we'll get to shortly. Some renders, one cool thing, they do have a closed kitchen in this. Even in the townhouses, so which looks pretty cool. This is like a closed kitchen type. Nowadays, it's getting more and more rare. Then we have Reha. These are the 6-bed villas. You can see the render for that from the front right now. Very nice modern architecture. And this is the backside, and they will be having that river water feature. All these things going close to the villas. Some renders from the inside. Very well made. Closed kitchen as well, comes with appliances and all these things. So you guys can see some of the renders. And then we have Raima, which are going to be your 4-bedroom villas. These are going to be semi-detached, so half and half, and then they're connected in the middle. As you can see, so these are 2 basically villas, and they're attached from the middle, so semi-detached 4 beds. You can see some of the renders, again, closed kitchen. Now, this is the top, as I said, this is about the 40% dedicated to nature. So all these things are also included. You guys can take a snapshot for this as well and pause and look at this. So now, as we just saw basically the brochure of the project, we're gonna basically get into more of the numbers, the prices, the payment plan, you know, why this project is going to be so good. Again, you guys can see BT Properties. Now, first and foremost, a lot of the people who basically, mostly people were requesting for villas, townhouses. So we're gonna start with the villas and the townhouses. You guys can see they have a 3-bed townhouse, a 4-bed townhouse, a 4-bedroom semi-detached, and a 6-bed villa. These are the prices, the sizes that these guys are giving. So the plot sizes, you guys can see they're very massive as well, and the built up is excellent in my opinion, especially when you compare it to, you know, other developers as well. For example, the townhouses in the valley or the townhouses in Imar South and all these things. These actually are quite a lot larger, and the price is very well, you know, value oriented. Then we have basically the towers. Okay, you guys can see. Now don't get confused with all the types. Again, we're just stick to the studio 1 bed and the 2 bed. Forget about the types. That is basically just, you know, if it's mirrored or not, what floor it is on, all these things. You don't have to get confused about that. More or less, you can see that 460,000 is the starting price of a studio, and it goes all the way up to and for 1 bedrooms, you can see they start from around 847,000, and 2 bedrooms they're starting from around 1.2 million. So fairly good sizes and fairly good prices as well. These were for the tall, you know, towers. This is going to be for the Cascade building. This one has a lot of types as well. Again, don't get confused by the types as well. But again, this one has 1 beds, 2 beds with maids, without maids, and then 3 beds with maids. So you guys can see, you know, the pricing. You can pause into it. Again, you don't have to get confused with all the types. We can get into more details once you guys get serious and go over all the floor plans and the, you know, the variations that come into things. Now, this is the best part about this project. Is the payment plan is pretty sorted. Okay, it has 2 years post handover payment plan, so you're paying 70%, and then it's paid the whole. So we have a 5-year payment plan. There's going to be a 5-year project basically, and we have 3 years until construction. We get the keys, we can live in it, we can rent it out, and we still have 30% to pay. So that really helps, you know, people with their ROIs, with their ROEs, where you have a post handover payment plan. And so you guys can pause the screen. So pretty solid payment plan. And if we look at basically, you know, the apartment studios that are available in basically that area, close to that, you know, Dubai South area, as you guys can see, Dubai South, 45,000 dirhams right now currently for a studio. Again, if we do that, that's around 7 to 8% on the prices that Bahria Town is given. And studios, you know, tend to give higher rental yields anyways. If we look at the 1-bed apartments currently in Dubai South, you know, they're at 65 to 70,000 respectively. Again, these are at today's rate. This project is not going to be handed over for like another 3 years. So, and as you guys know, 5 to 10% the prices increase annually in Dubai. So this is again going to be around 6 to 7%. Townhouses, these are the townhouse, you know, prices right now. Again, look at the sizes as well. This is something that's very important. If you guys saw the sizes earlier, these townhouses are even bigger. So they, again, if we take an average around 135,000 a year, that's around 4 to 5% annually, which is fairly standard for these kind of townhouses. Looking at the villas, again, these are the villas that are available over there. Again, look at the built-up area. You know, we're looking at 4,200, 4,000 over there. We have, well, I believe it was like 5,500 for a 6-bed villa. So the price must be, you know, higher for that, just because you're getting more space, more area, plus not to mention it's going to be 3 years down the line. So that is definitely going to see some, and again, 5 to 6% average. Now we do have a mortgage scenario as well, because again, we're only paying 70%, 30% is on handover. So if we take the most common, you know, clientele we do have is for the townhouses. So you can see around 135,000 yearly. If we take the 70 to 30%, 30% we need on loan. So again, loan to value 30%. Now 6.5% is mainly for international clientele. That's mainly the people we have. That's why we use this number. Now, if you're a resident, again, you can get 4 to 5% very, very easily. That's around 5,989 per month if you're paying for the townhouse. Again, our DCSR, debt coverage service ratio, is going to be around 1.8, which is pretty solid. That means you're making 1.8 times more in rental income than what you actually have to pay to the bank. Now, speaking a bit more about Dubai South, why Dubai South is going to be such a solid area, you guys can see 35% of Dubai's GDP by 2030, and that is the government's target. And over here right now, we can already see that Expo 2020, fairly mature community, all these things. Of course, we had Terra Heights, all these launches coming up, Oasis, Grand Polo, all these guys are fairly close by, very near the residential district. Obviously, we have the largest airport in the world upcoming, Maktoum International Airport. And you guys, where you see the Golf District in Amar South, exactly behind that is where this community is coming up. Now, if we look at just the numbers, we're looking at 145 square kilometers of an entire district of Dubai South. So government is actually, running behind this. Again, they are expecting 450,000 jobs and 1 million residents. And you can imagine, and these numbers aren't out of the world. If you have the world's largest airport, that requires a lot of staff, okay? You have Palm Jebel Ali over there, that requires a lot of staff. You have the Jebel Ali ports, that requires a lot of staff. And then you have all these districts, the business park, aviation district, logistics district. They're going to have a lot of offices. They need teachers, they need doctors, they need lawyers, they need accountants, all these, skilled people who are going to be moving in. And of course, if you're living close to work, what's even better? Not to mention you got schools surrounding. So it's a community that really is going to flourish. You have that residents and the jobs over there to tap into in order to make our capital appreciation and rental income. So in my opinion, the final verdict, again, this is going to be a massive community, very strategically located, decent, strong rental yields, and a return on equity as well, and excellent mortgage coverage. And obviously the market conditions for Dubai South are very favorable as well. So this was just a wrap. It was a quick presentation on this entire project. If you guys have any questions, please do feel free to let me know. Thank you so much for watching this video. I'll see you guys in the next one. Goodbye for now.